Greetings, Pisces and Pisces rising. This is your Western forecast for July 2025. I always look to where's the sun lighting up in your chart, where your priorities, your attention is most drawn to. Well, the end of June, the first 3 weeks of July, every year, the sun's in Cancer. Cancer's a water sign, very compatible with Pisces, a water sign. And Cancer is 5 signs past Pisces. So the 5th house is what is being lit up. It's one of the more pleasurable areas of the chart. It can represent romance, children, entertainment, sports, recreational activities. But to enhance it even more, I discussed in last month's video, Jupiter went into Cancer, and it's going to be there through the end of June 2026. But Jupiter is not just in a sign, it's in its exalted sign. So that's the best sign to give the best results of what Jupiter wants to promise, which is transiting for the next year, your 5th house. Now, the sun is putting a real spotlight on awakening all these issues this month because of the sun in Cancer. So over the next, till the end of June 2026, with that exalted Jupiter that wants to give its best opportunities in 5th house matters, you could be falling in love and having a great romance, or you could be bringing more romance back into an existing relationship. There could be more joy in creativity. It's about children and being really happy and playful with children. But you could also be, if you would like to conceive a child, give birth to a child, that exalted Jupiter would make childbirth protected or easier, or you'll be able to conceive if you've been working hard at that. But anything that deals with children could just be giving you so much joy. Not only could you give birth to a child, you could give birth to an artistic or entertainment project. The 5th house can also be dealing with sports. And so you might just, with that exalted Jupiter in the 5th house of sport, you could be winning, you could be learning, you could be finding a lot more joyfulness with learning and getting involved with teamwork in sports. Now, that's setting the stage for the next 12 months to the end of June. But there's a few other really important events, planetary events this month. Uranus, radical, revolutionary, futuristic, progressive Uranus is moving into Gemini July the 6th, and it'll be there for 8 years, once every 84 years. So I'm going to have to break that down because it's in Gemini, and Gemini is 4 signs past Pisces. So a lot of revolutionary change, that's Uranus in general, is impacting your 4th house of home and family. I'm going to talk about Mercury going retrograde in your 6th house of work, but also health matters. And Mars, warrior, aggressive, assertive Mars, is a 2-year cycle, and it's going to be in Virgo, which is opposite Pisces. Opposite represents the significant other, whether it's a spouse, or whether it is an important client, or a business partnerships. Now, before I start breaking all that down, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right, Uranus in Gemini. Gemini is an intellectual sign. Gemini is about information, communication, ideas. Uranus is the higher vibration of Gemini. Uranus is this futuristic, progressive, genius energy. But on a more down-to-earth, more pragmatic, Uranus represents technology, the future, thinking out of the box. A lot of original thinking. The Gemini is all this communications, information. So there's going to be a lot of advancement. For what little I know, it probably is going to be much more advancements and user-friendly with AI. But there's going to be a lot of technological advancements in information communications. That's Uranus in Gemini. But it's 4 signs past Pisces. So all this revolutionary changes, all this advancements is going to bring your home into a lot of sudden upheavals and change. You could even be upgrading your home with technology, having more of a smart, so to speak, home. The 4th house is your family. There might be some unexpected sudden surprises. It's the home. There could be, with Uranus, is always the sudden unexpected moving, relocation. Or maybe there's a sudden event where something needs to be suddenly repaired. If the roof is damaged, if the water heater goes bad, or wherever you are, that Uranus could bring in these unexpected events. Now, Venus is the planet of love and harmony and creativity. Venus is in Gemini this month, from July the 4th through the 30th. Now, because Venus goes retrograde every year and a half, Venus will not be in Gemini every 12 months. But over the next 8 years that Uranus is in Gemini, creative, pleasurable Venus will return to Gemini maybe at least 6 times over the next 8 years. And Venus to Uranus can be these sudden attractions, these creative breakthroughs, this innovative art, because Uranus is all that futuristic, progressive energies, and the Venus creative, romantic. Now, the Venus-Uranus in your 4th of real estate, home, and family, that could trigger with Uranus very suddenly, and with Venus just this month, changes in the home decor. Maybe there's unexpected surprise visits or romantic shifts involving the family. You may want more peace or more space or spontaneity in your family living situation. But impulsive decisions but you got to be careful about impulsive decisions about your living situations, because the Uranus always triggers the shocking, the unexpected, the surprises. The positive of Venus and Uranus could be entertaining Venus at home with family, whether you're traveling, taking family on holidays, or opening up the house, the backyard, if you have one. With Uranus, that could be completely unexpected or out of you, or wanting to throw a big party at your home very suddenly, unexpectedly, like overnight. but you could start entertaining where maybe before you've just kept everything low key. And with Jupiter in the fifth is romance, playfulness, children. So you're being very open to maybe being having more entertainment, more parties, more pleasure with family at the home. Mercury, the planet of information and communications, is going to be in Leo, 6 signs past Pisces. The 6th house deals with your day-to-day job routine, your health care, body maintenance. Mercury is what you're thinking about, what you're learning about. Mercury is usually in a sign for 1 month, but it's going to be there for 3 months because it's going to slow down and stop in retrograde July the 17th through August the 10th. Then it goes forwards, continuing to remain in Leo in your 6th house until September the 21st. So with Mercury for those 3 months in your 6th house, the focus is on health, your daily work routines, all those kind of details with work could be coming up. But the retrograde may bring back old work tasks or health habits to review. What you're watching out for are missed appointments. That's that 6th house of meetings and appointments. Your workplace drama or burnout. You might be with Mercury in retrograde in the 6th house, realizing you need to eat better and have more health improvement. Change your daily health habits. That's the health with the 6. But it could be your job, and you could be realizing that you need to find another job, or you could lose your job with Mercury in retrograde in the 6th, but now you have to get out there and look for another job. Mars is in Virgo in your 7th house of the significant other, June the 17th through August the 6th. I like Mars in the 7th house once every 2 years. It can trigger a lot of arguing, fighting, but Mars is not usually about breaking up. It's more about lancing the boil, releasing all the resentment, having the big blowout argument and clearing the air and starting over again. So if there's any resentments, it could be blowing up, but clearing the decks. If there is no arguments for you, then the Mars is all that and drive and desire to be in partnerships with the exalted Jupiter in the 5th house of romance. So I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.